The Dawn on iRadio.
Yes, a very good morning to you and welcome to another edition of the Dawn program on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. It's Friday, the 11th of April, 2025. My name is Emmanuel Joseph Akile and I'll be right here in the studio with you on the show from now up to 8 a.m. Well, thank you for starting your day with the Dawn program. It is on iRadio every weekday from 6 to 8. So to comment on any story that will be featuring on today's edition of The Dawn, do not hesitate. You can later on dial 0911 or 22986 a text message on 13986986. You can also stream this broadcast live by logging onto our website, iRadio.org. Follow us on Facebook and X at iRadio Juba. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, iRadio South Sudan. صباح الخير مستمع راديو، أهلا ومرحبا بك في حلقة جديد من برنامج الدون. اليوم الجمعة الموافق 11/4/2025. البرنامج في عمل من الساعة 6 ل 8. شارك معنا بعد الاتصال على أرقامنا على 11 ممكن ترسل لنا رسالة نصية على 13 تابعنا على الموقعين على الإنترنت على iRadio.org، على الفيسبوك وإكس على iRadio جوبا، وما تنسى تابعنا على يوتيوب شانل iRadio ساوث سودان. نمشي لفاصل ومنه حنبدأ بفقرتنا بتاع Residence Report.
It's the break of a new dawn, and this is the dawn on iRadio.
مرحبا بك مرة ثانية مستمع راديو 10 دقائق بعد الساعة 6 iRadio.
Good morning, Emmanuel.
Yes, good morning.
It's Jamie.
Jiang, welcome. You're number one today.
Really?
Welcome.
Yeah. I'm calling in Toinos County.
Tonja?
Yeah, I'm in Toinos where the user network is very poor. I was just dialing blindly.
Lucky you.
Yeah. So thank you. Toinos is very okay. Very security. Everything is good. People here are peaceful. I'm in the border between Pogosayam and Kirkayam in Toy area. You know, community here are peaceful. The only thing needed is that they need to be capacity built and supported by all the actors. Emmanuel, like yesterday, I've been talking about issue of politics in South Sudan. And our politics has actually led us to nowhere. And this morning, I want to give a lot to other actors like security sector. You know, in every country, security also plays a crucial role. When political sector fail, security try to rescue the country. We have been seeing all over. I will give the example of Burkina Faso. Now it's becoming one of the best countries in Africa that is well-growing and well-developing. We can take the example of Niger. Niger is now well-growing and well-developing, and citizens' voices have been heard by the government. South Sudan is totally in mess because of the politics. So I'm urging the security sector that we cannot be led by politically lead who doesn't know, who doesn't have mission and vision where to take the country. So this politically lead have totally blacklisted our country. So I'm calling upon them, try to abstain supporting politicians and try to abstain following politicians. Because sometimes these politicians, they are the one failing us, they are the one fighting, and they use you, the security, to fight, to kill yourself. In other way around, you are dying, you are not even being paid, and your children and men struggling, and you are fighting for somebody who is greedy, who is not even have a home in South Sudan. Somebody who have a family abroad, but still is appointed a minister. Somebody is appointed a vice president. The other one is even a speaker in the parliament. They still run away from the position of the government. They want to cause another war. So what do such a politician want? When you are in the government, you are a minister, you are in parliament, you want to cause another war. What do you want? So we are calling this time our security sector, please don't let country back to war. You do whatever whatever you can do to prevent war. Do whatever you can do to prevent war, and the security and law work together. And that's why there's no country that is governed without law. Arrest whoever wanted to fight and let them go to the court of the law. If South Sudan judiciary doesn't know how to certain people, how to jail people who want to cause problems in this country, then we will see the weakness of judiciary. But I want security to do the best this time. Because what is aggression? Is when what is a threat to the country? It is when I want to fight. It is when I cause war, when I incite my community to fight to fight the government. That is what is called a crime, and that is what is called incitement. And security must take action in this, and the law must take action in this, and the perpetrator must be held accountable. This is what we call the government. So I'm calling upon the security this time. We don't need war. We need peace. As South Sudanese, today I'm happy where I'm employed here. I have seen this community who have been struggling, fighting among themselves, but they accepted peace. Now they are peaceful. They are saying one side, nothing. So such a community, what they need to be supported. So I'm calling upon the security of South Sudan, please, don't let yourself be misled and be driven by any politician who have his own interest, who wants for his own interest, for his own well, for his family, just to get money and send his family abroad. And you who is here, you are struggling and not being paid, and somebody is enjoying the world, sleeping in a hotel, and inciting you to fight something you don't know. What are you fighting for? Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. وورانا الأوضاع هناك في تونج، وعلى حسب كلام بتاعه إنه في تحسن الأمنية في المنطقة، وده خبر إيجابي وخبر كويس لآي راديو أو لشعب جنوب السودان. آي راديو.
الو
يس. نعم تفضل.
أول حاجة سلامكم لكم في الاستديو وجميع مستمعين بتاع راديو. أول مرة ذات نشارك في راديو.
مبروك.
طيب يلا كلامي كالعادي. امبارح العادي أسألنا حاجة في سوق الجو في الواو.
ده إيمانويل جوزيف أكيلي معك.
نعم إيمانويل. سوق الجو امبارح مثلا العادي جو في سوق الجو في الواو 7 بدري. يعني مدخل بتاع السوق بيقوا دارين مدخل بتاع السوق، يعني شاري بيقوا دارين يدوقوا أوتاد في الواتة، دارين يعملوا دكاكين في المدخل بتاع السوق. وده مدخل بتاع السوق مثلا شاري رئيسي، إذا عربية مطافي ولا مثلا أصل عريضة في السوق، مدخل بتاع السوق ما في مطافي بيجي كاشي كيف سوق الجو. لو واثنين عندنا تاني في اللقلقو ناس مدربين، يعني ميادين بتاع اللقلقو بيقى ناس 30 بيقوم بول ميادين كله برا، بيقوا بيبنوا فيه بيوت. يعني انت كان عندك قروش مثلا تلقى أراضي بتاع زول يعني تمشي تشتري منه. حتى ذاته في اللقلقو في جبل فلاته جرى اوش كبير في راس المواطنين، والمواطنين قاعدين جوا. كلام زي ده بمشي وين؟ 2 و3 أسي أنينا في الزمن بتاع الزراعة أبو بوغار ما يجيبوا لناس في محل بتاع الزراعة. أسي بيقى في اشتباكات بين المزارعين في الواو ومع ناس الأرواح. 3 ويندينا في السوق الجو أياد بيقى ما في فوق ومية ما في بيقى بطروا رجال برا من السوق من المدارس. ومرتبات ما في. جنا عالي يقعد في الهلا يبقى حرامي ولا يبقى نيجا، أقوم حقه ينظر للوضع بتاع الناس والمعيشة بيقى غالي. وشكرا.
alright شكرا. بنوصل للسلطات المحلية هناك في الموضوع ده. آي راديو.
كبير المزايين.
كبير المستمعين.
إيمانويل جوزيف أكيلي مع المطر.
نعم.
إن شاء الله أسباب كويس يا أخوي.
ما بطال أستاذ مجاوب شوية.
أنا أسباب كويس يلا تبين في منقتين. نشكر ربنا، أتمنى أهل كل في منقتين يكونوا كويسين. أهل سيتيوسي 1 و 3 ناس بنجان كويس هناك. إن شاء الله بهم بخير. جايين هناك بتوجي أنا بسلم عليهم. أخوي ديفيد مجاوب برضه بسلمه وأبراز الجيل الجور. إيمانويل جوزيف أكيلي طبعا يا هو إذا أنا في عمل الجوزيف الكبير يا ومع ماريا. أنت عارف بس في 3 نقاط كده ده خطط فوق سريع سريع. واحد جنوب السودان ده دولة كبير من جغرافيا بتاعه وفوق 4 سنين قبيلة. إذا إحصائية ده صح، إذا في أي قبيلة بتوهم إنه ممكن يقعد في جنوب السودان برا بدون قبائل ده كله معناه هو واحد. اثنين يعني الكلام اللي فوق جاي قبل شوية لما نقول أمن القومي، أمن الوطني، أمن الوطني ده معناه ده الأمن ما أمن ذاتي، ما أمن بتاع أحزاب سياسية. الأمن بيكون عن الدولة، دائما قاعد يكون جهاز مستقل وما بيدخل في حاجة بتاع السياسيين كله إلا لو هم عملوا رعد وده لا عمل وجوده ده شغل بتاعهم بعدين بيدخل كويس. في جنود ده ما في رعد فرق لا يعملوا، لكن إذا عملوا يعني معناه عمل ده هيزيد معناه بلد ما بيستغل. يفترض العمل يكون عمل مستغل بس يشوف بدل الخطر الجاي للبلد شنو بالشغل بتاعه. الحاجة الثانية البلد ما بتقدم، يعني جاينا ناس ضرب مثال ببوركينا فاسو. بوركينا فاسو ده ما الدولة قاعد تدخل في الشؤون بتاعه كويس. قال لنا ابناء بلد لازم نملي بلدنا برانا وخلافاتنا بس في جانب كويس. ده النقطة. لكن جنوب السودان ما يعني بيقدروا يفعلوا هاي جاي بيجي بتاعه بابا بتاعه بكون هنا بمصلحة بتاعه معايا، وده بيكون على حساب المواطنين. نمرة 3 الكلام اللي قالوا جاي ده مبرر تحليل موضوعي، لأنه مجموعة بتاع باركل كويس يفترض إنه يكونوا كوميتي، لكن هو لما ناس قاعد معقد وهو كمان بيطالب بإصلاح الرئيس ده كلام حتى جيل صغير ما بفهم منه الزول ده حاجة مضبوط وحاجة مغنن، يعني الماشي ده ما معروف كويس، لكن برضه بيكون للنهاية وده ما بفعل. يعني بالفعل المجموعة ده ما داري كلام ده، هم نجحوا إنه يفككوا الأحزاب، نجحوا إنه يعمل استيعاب لبعض الناس بالقروش عشان الأمور يجوز. حتى موضوع الانتخابات ده ما هيمشي، وده خطط لإيطاليا ده هم هيكون قاعدين بكراسي ماشيين. لأن أي ذو مسؤول أي رئيس لما نكون حول مجموعة، يعني الحاشية بتاع الرئيس لما يكون مجموعة فاسدين، مجموعة ما نروي للبلد، مجموعة ما نمرحمة في قلوبهم، هم دائما بيعيشوا في المياه العكر دايرين البلد ده بس خليه يكون في وضع زي ده عشان هم يستفيدوا. وبتلقى رئيس بنفسه زول ممكن يعني طموح داير البلد يكون فوق السلام، لكن لا شفتوا بيشوشروا بالجاري يمين وشمال، بدنا نعمل كده ونعمل كده. الحاجة نمرة 3 الأخير إنه الورقة الأخير إنه البلد ده عشان يرجع لسلام خليه الرئيس كير يطلق يعني صلاح بايس بريزيدنت فوز بايس بريزيدنت هذا مثلا يتفاوض ويشوف يعني هم مختلفين وين كويس. اما اذا جماعه المسؤولين في الموضوع بتاع محكمه كلام لهم استجيشن يحكموا، اذا ثبت انه بالفعل الظل يتورط يكون سجن، ما فوضى ما زال الواقف معه كويس. اذا زال الواقف معه بيجي بريء يطلع كويس مع متابعه كل فريق، ما زال واحد براء بتعامل مع نفس زول معه. الحاجه الثانيه انا بشوف يا ايمن الجسر كده انا كجنوبيين كويس البلد ده يمنع كلامنا وقاعد يكرر كثير. اذا كنا بنحارب البلد بالقبائل يا ايمن الجسر كده ليه من اللي كان عربنا بكل قاعدين في بعض المناطق
نعم.
لكن الجنوبيين كله شال الحيل ده كله بين نسوان بين مزارعين بين الابقار، يعني لان النضال عشان نكون مستقرين، لكن ما على حساب مجموعه انتهازيه ياخذ البلد برام. شكرا جزيلا.
شكرا اورايت، شكرا لك. وطبعا زي ما قلنا زي ما هم وصلوا طيب بتقول انه التحقيقات مستمره مع النائب الاول لرئيس الجمهوريه. ده الوقت اللي نقرا فيه بعض من الرسائل على الفيسبوك بيج في صباح اليوم، ونشوف بعض من التعليقات والناس بيشاهدونا من ياتو مناطق. Yes, D Modi saying I'm watching you live from Kenya. We have someone is watching us also live from Juba in Mangaten. That is Adong Y. And then Peter Majog is saying good morning Akile and the entire iRadio listeners across the country. And I'm watching you live from Juba, Giada Jamuz. Dobili Christopher is saying good morning to you. I'm watching live from Western Equatorial State, Yambio. My area is well, and pass my greetings to all the listeners of I Radio and also the regular callers. Honorable Ayumi Peter is saying good morning. My greetings going to you in the studio, Akile, and also the listeners, regular callers, and writers, plus the rest of I radio staff. Nothing bad in our area. Thank God for the gift of new life. I am from Tomping residential area. Ustaz Akin is also saying good morning to the listeners of iRadio outside the country and also within the country. In our residence, people are going on their daily businesses, watching us live from Lologo. Justin Kerry is also watching us live from Juba Town and is saying happy Friday. Angoyo Stars is saying greetings to you in the studio and also the listeners, writers, and the callers of iRadio. My regards to Marco Ariat Apiol in Juba, James Tick Ball in Wow, and also lastly to my uncle Kwach Kwach in Juba. Rizik Louise Baptist is saying good morning Akile and all the listeners, regular callers and writers of iRadio. I'm streaming live from Haimor Tamadia, Western Bahr al-Ghazali State. Wow, and thanks. Another one here from Bakwin Gadet is watching us live from Kampala. Another message here from Julius Abdullah Bigul. Good morning iRadio, watching you live from Yokuran West. سبت أو سايمون سبت أصبحنا وأصبح الملك لله. صباح الخير إيمانويل. سبت باب برضو برسل رسالة بتاعه وبيقول نطرق على الوضع السياسي بين طرفي مستمر، لا زالت مغامرات ومضايقات مستمرة ويحول طريق إقصاء المعارضة من ساحة سياسية، وأعتقد هذا الخيال العلمي لا يستطيع أي شخص إقصاء المعارضة واستخدام محكمة مسيسة ضد المعارضة هدف منها إقصاء المعارضة. هذا تعليق بتاعه تشول saying good morning iRadio, I'm watching live from Kampala in Uganda. Jamie Siata is saying greetings to you there in the studio, and also my greetings to David Magog, Regina Joseph, and then also and is saying what we need is peace. Another one is watching us live from Jonduru area, Juba, South Sudan. That is Victor Long. Another message from Gatluak Nyag is saying good morning iRadio. I am watching from he's watching us live from Catherine in Australia. Olinga Abu is saying good morning Akile, listeners iRadio, and also not forgetting regular callers, people who also comment on Facebook, and also this Olinga Abu Elia watching you live from Wow in my area, Jebel Khair. People are okay. Bodmas Ohiri, good morning iRadio. I am watching you live from Eastern Equatoria State, Lopa County, Imiherejek Payam, Ihiriang Boma. Tabanis Geoffrey is saying good morning. We need peace in South Sudan. Let the three organs of the government be separated. This would create independency of the judiciary, where the citizens would feel to get justice in the court of law. If there is political dispute, then the politicians would be able to go to court instead of taking guns. Very interesting then, important one. Bring us about 27 minutes after the hour of 7. We go for this short break.
Are you tired of the long queues while transferring money? Well, MTN Momo International Money Transfer is finally here. You can now send and receive money to Uganda or Kenya, or receive money from the rest of the world. Experience financial freedom and easy life with Momo. To access the service, dial star 200 star 1 star 3 hash.
iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. iRadio.
نعم ومرحبا بك. نواصل بفقرة Residence Report iRadio.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
From Wow.
Welcome.
Good Friday to all the friends, listeners, regular callers, and the writers, especially the Mama and
the two Majuk, plus Young Deng and Kodakol and the rest. My brother, what I would like to talk about, I would like to request all the citizens of South Sudan that if all of us can stand behind these confused politicians, this country will not get peace. Why not for us to work with them and we ask them to work together for peace? And if they fail to do so, we can even request back our power so that we can for election. This can be an alternative that can reduce the situation in this country. But if we divide ourselves and we stand behind our doubters and sons of our communities, this country will not get peace, and this country will not be like other countries, and we will not even get the benefit of the independence. My request to all the citizens is, let us not involve ourselves in this politics, because a violent politics cannot save the country. We are supposed to campaign for a peaceful politics, of which a country should have to be like other countries. Instead of all the time, South Sudan now is being known of violence, of corruption, or whatsoever, all the bad news, which is not supposed to be. So to all those who are now defending their sons and daughters from their communities, this completely will not help us. Let us all together work together, combining ourselves as a citizen of this nation, telling the politician that what you are doing is wrong. You come back and do this and do this. In case failure to do so, it's better you bring back our power. Because if you can see, opposition is to correct the ruling party so that it can make development in the country and services delivery. And if all of them have failed, then the citizens have right to pull back their power. But if all of us now can divide ourselves among when we divide ourselves and we stand behind our son and daughters from our communities, do you think there will be peace in the country? We are still fueling the problem. Why don't we say the truth? Thank you.
Alright, thank you. ليه ما نقول الحقيقة؟ ده رسالة هناك بيجي من ديفيد ماجوج من مدينة واو. نرفع مكالمة تاني. هلو راديو. هلو راديو. Alright, يبدو هناك إن الشبكة قاعدة ينقطع. We'll read a few comments again before we cross to the news desk with the headlines. Yes, we have Angelo Chair is saying good morning. I radio. I'm watching you live from Juba too. Another one saying live from Upper Nile State, Paluch, and that is Patrick Jansuk. Luca Mayen is saying watching us live from Sukmamur and passing his regards to all the listeners of I Radio. Another message from Augustine Ngor is saying good morning. I Radio, watching you live from Rueng, Biamnam. We have Yangiduku is saying good morning. And is also watching us live from Torit. Dioma Bior is saying good morning, I Radio, and also all South Sudanese. Kwach Majog is saying good morning. Emmanuel, I'm watching you live from Mayen Ulim in Awil North County. Hillary Kamis is saying live in Jonduru. Good morning to you all. Fox بيقول كويسين الحمد لله. تحياتي لجميع مستمعي I Radio في جوبا في صباح اليوم. Susie Kamis is saying Susan Kamis is saying good morning Emmanuel Akile, and I'm watching you live from Gudelle Block 9. Yen Yol is saying I'm watching you live from Ethiopia and saying good morning. Now we go for news headlines.
نتاكم في جنوب السودان.
This is I Radio.
The I Radio.
Your eye on South Sudan.
Right, and it's time for news headlines. Lasuba Memo is right here with me in the studio. Lasuba, good morning. What do we have today after 27 minutes from now?
Good morning, Emmanuel Joseph Akile. At 7, the South Sudan People's Defense Force has issued a 24-hour ultimatum to heavily armed youth from Greater Pibor administrative area detected to be on an offensive move towards Jonglei State to stop the activity. A prominent U.S.-based South Sudanese researcher has raised concern over the recent U.S. decision to revoke visas for South Sudanese nationals, cautioning that more than 2,000 individuals could be affected by the move. And Tanzania's opposition leader, Tundu Lissu, has been charged with treason a day after he was arrested following a rally he held in the south of the country. This and many more.
Thank you لسوبة. من الأخبار وحنلقى تفاصيل بعد دقائق قليلة من الآن.
هل بتفتش على راديو مثالي؟ آي راديو هو جوابك. ليه تختار آي راديو؟ في 5 الأسباب المغنادل.
الثقة والوصول. بيعتبر آي راديو المحطة الإذاعية الأكثر ثقة وشعبية في جنوب السودان، مدعومة بالاستطلاعات الأخيرة مع قاعدة مستمعين مخلصين. حتصل رسالتك إلى جمهور واسع بشكل فعال.
شبكة واسعة النطاق. آي راديو ليست مجرد محطة إذاعية، إنها شبكة من المحطات المترابطة. لم تكن شريك مع آي راديو. سنقوم ببث برنامجك عبر مواقع متعددة مثل واو، أويل، كواجوك، يامبيو، بور، رنج، ملكال وباليت، وبيضمن أقصى قدرة من التغطية والتأثير.
التواجد الإقليمي. بتمتد بصمة آي راديو إلى ولاية غرب وشمال بحر الغزال، غرب والاستوائية الوسطى، جونغلي، أعالي النيل ووراب. من خلال التعاون مع آي راديو يمكنك التواصل مع المجتمعات المتنوعة والجماهير المستهدفة في المناطق ديل.
مشاركة المجتمع. الشراكة مع آي راديو بتعني التعامل مع مجتمعات على مستوى الشعبي. رسالتك حتوصل للمستمعين في مواقع مختلف، مما يعزز التفاعلات الهاتفة ويزيد الوعي بعلامة تجارية.
التغطية الشاملة. مع محطات في مواقع استراتيجية زي الرنج، ملكال وباليت، بتوفر آي راديو تغطية شاملة بتصل إلى كل من المراكز الحضرية والمناطق الريفية. بتضمن شراكتك مع آي راديو الرؤية عبر منطقة جغرافية واسعة.
ما تفوت فرصة توسيع نطاق رسالتك باستخدام آي راديو. شارك أو أعلن معنا الليلة وخلي صوتك مسموع في جميع أنحاء جنوب السودان.
I Radio, for reliable and objective news from across South Sudan and beyond. You are listening to I Radio, bringing you programs that offer you an in-depth look at the issues that affect you. I Radio, your eye on South Sudan.
إنتكم في جنوب السودان.
ومرحبا بك مرة ثانية مستمع راديو في كل مكان. لسه بتسمع للبث المباشر لبرنامج الدون، وده البث اللي جايك من آي راديو عينك على جنوب السودان. وخلينا نمشي ونتكلم في موضوع بتاع الزراعة. بينما اتخذت الحكومة خطوات كبيرة لتعزيز الإنتاجية الزراعية والتنمية الاقتصادية استعدادا لموسم الأمطار، وده طبعا جاء في اجتماع بتاع المجموعة أو الكتلة الاقتصادية برئاسة نائب رئيس الجمهورية للكتلة الاقتصادية الدكتور بنجامين بول ميل. ووافقت المجموعة على طبعا تخصيص 62 مليار جنيه، وده طبعا لدعم الأنشطة الزراعية استعدادا لموسم الأمطار الجاي. وتعد الأموال جزء من خطة واسعة النطاق لتنشيط الزراعة وتحسين الإنتاج الغذائي المحلي وضمان الأمن الغذائي على المدى الطويل في جميع أنحاء جنوب السودان. ومن بين القرارات الرئيسية طبعا إيادة مشروعي الأرز بتاع أويل أو مشروع بتاع روس في أويل ورنج، وده اللي بيعملوا حاليا إلا بشكل جزئي. وأكدت المجموعة على ضرورة حصول المزارعين برضو في المنطقتين ديل لأنه مناطق حيوية على دعم مستهدف ولازم يتم دعم بتاعهم. وكمان لتسريع التنفيذ أطلقوا خطة بتاع عمل لمدة بتاع 100 يوم، وصدروا تعليمات لجميع حكام بتاع الولايات والمسؤولين بتاع المناطق الإدارية الثلاثة بتخصيص 250 50,000 هكتار من الأراضي لاستخدام الزراعي كله منهم. نمشي ونسمع لليلي البينو أكول اللي هي نائبة بتاع وزير الزراعة ووزير الزراعة القومية، وهي تكلمت للإعلام بعد اجتماع بتاع الكتلة الاقتصادية والمبارح.
The economic cluster under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. Benjamin Bolmel, the Vice President and the Chairperson of the Economic Cluster, listened to a very detailed and comprehensive presentation from the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, and that is in line of last week's proposal to have a presentation to the cluster. So the report outlined the priority areas in agricultural development and agricultural investment, as well as the preparedness for the farming season. The cluster, after deliberations, approved the presentation and urged the Honorable Minister of Finance to immediately release to the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to release the budget for the farming season, and it is to the tune of 62 billion South Sudanese pounds. The second resolution also has to do with our banks, especially the Agriculture Bank of South Sudan and the Cooperative Bank of South Sudan. The cluster resolved that these two banks must be reviewed, the act must be reviewed, as well as the composition of the board of directors, and a small committee will work at that to make sure that the banks are well prepared to help in financing and funding agricultural activities in the country. The cluster resolved to form a small committee under the concerned institutions from the agriculture sector to prepare and do some dialoguing and note and stock taking in order to have a comprehensive conference. So the committee will work together with the governors from the state. It will also include academia and all the concerned stakeholders. And most importantly, before the governors come to Juba for the consultation meeting, each governor will have to avail about 250,000 fadan of land for agricultural purposes. The fourth resolution has to do with agricultural inputs and implements that are currently in the custody of the Ministry of Finance. The Minister of Finance is again directed to release the tractors and all the equipments to the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security so that we can embark on the farming season immediately. The last resolution has to do with the rehabilitation of the national schemes, mainly the two schemes that are partially functioning, that is the Abu Rice scheme and the Rang Duro scheme. The cluster also resolved that farmers of Rang and farmers of the Abu Rice scheme must be supported.
نعم، ده كانت هناك ليلي البينو أكول نائبة وزيرة بتاع الزراعة والأمن الغذائي بتتكلم للإعلام بعد اجتماع بتاع الكتلة الاقتصادية برئاسة بتاع الدكتور بنجامين بولميل نائب رئيس الجمهورية. والكلام هناك خصصوا أو ركزوا على موضوع بتاع الاقتصاد وخاصة الزراعة، وهناك هم قرروا على أساس إنه لازم يتم استخراج بتاع قروش بيقدر ب 62 مليار جنيه بتاع جنوب السودان، وده طبعا لدعم الأنشطة الزراعية استعدادا لموسم الأمطار المتوقع قريبا. ماذا عن رأيك في الخطوة ده؟ متفق معه ولا لا وليه؟ اتصل علينا ل 11 أو 22 986 986 لكن بعد الفاصل الإعلاني.
Attention! Cholera is a dangerous disease. It can kill within 3 to 4 hours if not treated. But here is the good news. The oral cholera vaccine is now available to protect you and your family. The oral cholera vaccine is safe and free. Everyone from 1 year and above, including pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers, can receive the oral cholera vaccine. However, do not give oral cholera vaccine to persons who are sick or have cholera and children below 1 year. The vaccine is given orally in the mouth and it's usually in 2 dosage, dose 1 and 2, to strengthen your immune against cholera. The second dose is given between 2 weeks and 6 months after the first dose. With 1 dose, you are protected for up to 6 months, and with 2 doses, you are protected for up to 3 years. The oral cholera vaccine protects you from severe cholera symptoms and reduces the spread of cholera in the community. Do not miss to be vaccinated during the oral cholera vaccination campaign happening in your area. Remember, even after getting vaccinated, it's important to continue practicing good hygiene and sanitation. Always treat your drinking water to make it safe. Use a toilet. Never defecate in an open. Wash your hands with clean water and soap, especially before eating and after using the toilet. And if you or anyone you know shows signs of cholera, seek immediate treatment. If you or anyone of your family member or community is experiencing cholera signs and symptoms, report immediately to your nearest health facility, health worker, or community leader for medical assistance. For more information, contact the Ministry of Health or call our toll-free number 6666. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from WHO, UNICEF, and partners.
It's a Baghdad Diamond Wenisuma iRadio ala nimrata telefon 0911-986-986 au itabi reselu risala ala nimra 0913-986-986.
This is the Dawn Show on iRadio. Wake up, get information, get education, get everything that you need on iRadio.
Welcome back from the break. 15 minutes now to the top of the hour. تفضل الوقت لنرفع المكالمات. iRadio.
Hello iRadio.
سلطان.
Emmanuel Akile Sultan بتاعنا كبير في iRadio.
نعم تفضل.
أنا وهيك Emmanuel ونهاية البرنامج بتاع السيد الرئيس نائب رئيس الجمهورية في شؤون السعودية مع وزير المالية دكتور مريال دمرن. طبعا ده فكرة كويسة يا إيمانويل أكيلي، وإن شاء الله يعني بيكون كل ولايات وثلاثة إداريات عشان كله ينادون كله إني يعمل ورك شوب، كل دول يجيب قوته بتاعه ويمشي يزرع، ما يكون في كمان individual يا بيجي جار ينادون individual ولا أقرباء ينادون قولوا تعالوا امشي ازرعوا، وبعد شويه يمشي يزرع في بيدات ويزرع في عمارات ويزرع في شركات وهم بدون شغل، وبعد شويه بيقول قروش ما في. يعمل نفسه زي ألف تراكتر. انت لو بتذكر يا ايمان ولا كيله ألف تراكتر كان قسموه زمن ده كان 30 ولايه ولا كان كم؟ انا ما اعرف وقع وين في عتبير وقع في عتبار حتى الان ناس سكت نيم ما في زول بيجيب كبر اللي يعني ألف تراكتر القسموها. فانا بتمنى القروش 62 مليار ده ولا مليون ده يعني ما يكون زي 10 زي ألف تراكتر الوقت في بار بدون معنى يا ايمانويل. تقول بتاع الكلام دائما سمع جدا جدا، لكن التنفيذ في عرض الواقع ما موجود. عشان كده هنا الشعب يا ايمانويل هنا تعبانين شديد من كلامات من الوعد ومن البرنامج يعني بدون تنفيذ. حتى الشعب بتاعنا ده يا ايمانويل جنوب السودان ده بلد مثلا بنزل 12 سنه لا 12 شهر كويس. بدأ له ذات وزير زراعة مثلا وزير زراعة أي مواطن في بندق أكبر 60 بندق ده بكون شنو عنده أكل. أنا بلد فيها خير فيها نعمة، لكن ما في سكرتي وما في حاليات ما في إمكانيات. فأنا بتمنى من البرنامج ده أنا ما بقول ولا يعسى إلا بعدين قدام كان فشل زي التكسرات الفاتحة كده أنا نقول والله وإننا خلاص ما عندنا أي شيء ثاني في كلام. وأنا بقول مرة في برنامج ده يا إيمانويل شكرا جزيلا.
Alright, شكرا لك سلطان جوزيف وموضوع بتاع التراكترات وموضوع بتاع أهمية الزراعة. And since we mentioned the importance of Awil rice scheme, it is believed that it will actually boost or help boost food security in the country. Now, looking at the Awil rice scheme, for instance, it is a national project established by the Sudanese government in northern Bahr al-Ghazali state, and that was during the British rule in the late 1940s. It is also the biggest rice farm in the country so far, stretching over about 11,000 hectares. However, now since the government of South Sudan inherited the scheme by default, the production has been crippled and only 3,000 hectares being cultivated. Radio.
Hello.
Yes.
شكرا Emmanuel. Alison ملكية.
Alison تفضل.
شكرا من economic cluster لبرنامج اللي هو نعمله ده. موصل اقتصاد ده ليها مسؤولياتهم. وزراعة ده واحد من برنامج الاقتصاد. وزراعة ده ليها حاجة المهم كالس في الدولة. يعني كان ما عنده أكل في بلد أنا كفايدة ما في. أكل ده حاجة الأول الإنسان بيكون عنده. بعدين الإنسان بيكون يعني بيبقى بقدر يفكر يعمل حاجات تانية. عشان كده كاتوا علوم نعمله ده كويس وزي ما 250,000 فدان اللي بيكون في أي ولاية أو في الرياض ده يعملوا وكلو لأنه الزراعة ده عنده ناس الأجرة في أجرة زراعة وشغل تومن شنو وده شغل ذات رجاء وكل سنة كلمة بيسا كل سنة كلمة عنده بلان كلمة بعملوا قروش فيه بعملوا تزراعة لأنه أتنبلت الزراعة أكل كان ما في ناس ما بيجوني كويسين سو أكل زارع بيجيبوا شنو يكون في بيس في نص الناس ناس كان عنده أكل كم باكلوا كم بيكونوا مرتاحين يا شكرا.
Hello, radio.
Hi, radio.
Yes.
Emmanuel Joseph Akile.
نعم.
صباح الخير.
تفضل صباح النور.
هاي ما بابا سامويل في بديل مرابطيزا.
نعم.
إيمانويل كلام كويس جديد. لكن أنا ما بعرف ما يكون على ورقة. لأن الناس ما كتير. ونسوا كلام سامع وبأكل بورقة. الزراعة ما حاجة تليب يا إيمانويل. نعرف زراعة تمام. زراعة ما بتفق إذا كان أمن ما في. أنا متأكد 100% زراعة بيكون ما في. لأنه زراعة بأمن سوا. زول تزراعة يكون زول مرتاح وقاعد بعايز بطريقة بتاعه ولو بعرف الزراعة. ده زراعة بناجح. لكن بطريقة ده أمن ما في. هلا زراعة ده براسه. بروس الوريد ذاته ما بعرف. فالناس ما يونسوا في حاجة ما بعمل نفسه. ما يتبصوا ناس جايات صغار. نفعل الزراعة لما ديرين أكل. مواطن تعبان عديل دير يزرع. تعبان بيقولوا تعبان يا إيمانويل الناس كله دير يزرع. لكن تعبان زرع كيف؟ أنا بقول كلام الكلمة ده كلمة كلام نسيا عشان بيساعدونا. فعلا أنا مستعد للزراعة. أنا ديرين زراعة ما يكون على ورق ساكت يا إيمانويل. شكرا.
alright شكرا. ما يكون على الورق رسالة مهمة. راديو.
الو.
نعم سليمان.
ما سليمان. كويس أكيد طبعا تعرفها التنمية العمرانية في شتى المجالات محتاج لاستقرار أمن في البلد. لأن هنا لو شفنا جنوب السودان شبه يعني كل بخا في عدم الأمن. كويس. فطبعا الاستراتيجية الخطة الحكومة يعني زادوا ما واجد بالنسبة لنا. يعني أنا أقدر أقول كده أول حاجة أكل الرئيس اللي إحنا قاعدين ناكل كجنوبيين ولا أكل هل هو الرز ولا شنو؟ من المفترض الحكومة يبدأ بحاجة اللي إحنا بناكله كأكل بتاعنا أمروا في الذرة والسرير الجديد. لكن هسه اعتمدوا على الرز وأنا متأكد الرز ده ما أكل بتاعنا الرئيس واحد. نمرة اثنين أي خطة بيعملوا بدون تنفيذ هذا الأدوات بتكون تفاصيل. أنا بالنسبة لي سليمان يعني عندنا experience جديدة بتاعنا دي ما أول مرة حكومة بتجهزوا لمواسم الزراعة. يعني أنا متأكد من ده كل حكومة بيجهزوا لمواسم الزراعة
لانه ما في استراتيجيه واجد. فانا ما متوقع كلام ده بيعمل نفسه، لانه في فساد هناك، في كوربشن هناك يا اخوي. 62 مليار جنيه ده قروض ضخمه جدا جدا، لكن هالقروض ده بعدين بيمشي للمشاريع ولا بيمشي في البيوت الناس. ودائما عندنا ميزه، الحكومه بتاعنا عندنا ميزه دائما اي زول جابوه في استمالته وبيكون سيريس حاجه. لزمان الناس كليه يقول زول ده تمام زول ده كويس، لكن يعني انفورشنتلي انت بنقول على بعد شهر شهرين او بعد 6 شهور الكلام ده كله ما بيعمل نفس حقه. فانا بتمنى نائب الرئيس للسنه دي كانوا داير كلكم زول كلكم فرق ما بيننا فمن الكلام ده على عقبات، لكن كانوا ما نفسهم النبي كنت تعرف الملفات بتاعت الكذابين. يعني دائما الناس بتاعنا دائما قاعدين يكذب لنا كثير في اعلام يقولوا وين، لكن التنفيذ ده من اهم حاجات. التنميه تعرف دول اصلا متقدمه يعتمد اعتماد كليا للزراعه. على سبيل المثال مثلا زي يوغندا ما عندي موارد، لكن هو اعتمدوا اعتماد كليا للزراعه. عشان كده احنا قلنا دي اكل بتاعنا من يوغندا. في دول كثير اللي ثبتوا في الزراعه واسمهم قاعدين في استقرار تام. يعني تعرف بوتنا تزول لك يعني بيسبب عدم الامن ذاته. مناو الزراعه هو بيخلي امن البلد يكون كويس. كان يجيب كان شعبان ما بيفكر ان المراد ضبط. فانا بتمنى كلامي يكون ما على الورق، يكون على ارض الواقع. شكرا.
شكرا جزيلا. ونفسه كلام بتاع سلطان جوزيف على راديو.
Hello, Joseph. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
This is me, Joseph Promonology.
Joseph, welcome.
Thank you, brother. We are somehow in the here. Appreciate our radio for updating us for the national issues. Brother, the statement from the economic cluster for proposing 2 billion SSP for agriculture project of 2025. In his statement is not in nature. It is a developmental statement. But we fear about the economic cluster of South Sudan, because it's not one time to announce the figure of money for one of the activities projects. That's why our people they spoke with doubt. I myself am too doubt, because it is not past time to hear them. The project of agriculture for me is not supposed to be announced on this April. They are supposed to begin at the beginning of the year, making registration for the cooperative, and other people need to be farmers from the primary level, secondary level, and higher level, from the counties and state headquarters, people trying to conserve there, and in the national level, people are trying to make some project here and end it within Juba here. And there's no somebody can conserve within the capital city. This is the main point, trail down the agriculture sector. Because the agriculture sector, there is people who used to be farmers as a cooperative within Juba, and their money are ended within Juba here. They go and took money from the bank, agriculture bank, whatever bank, and never doing something in the reality. So what we request from them, they are supposed to start registered people from the grassroots, which is people trying to make agriculture. You know, if there is agriculture program now, then that issue of security may not be there, because there is a security in the grassroots. If you go there with that project and propose it and talk to the division commanders and other organized forces, they will protect that farmland. But the main point now, there's no a single project for agriculture. Look at that time that cows and trucks are being brought here. If there is a planning, a good progress, they could not even being known where are they going for. Look at the 10 billion proposed by the the economic cluster last year, 2023, for bringing 200 water tanks for supply of water in Juba here was announced by Lily. This is the same spokesperson of the economic cluster. Was announced that we will reduce water to 300 just not even to reach 8,000 now. And that one is not implemented. So what we request from them, let them not go to the media before they make an accurate planning.
All right, and it is through the media that you can hold them accountable, because otherwise, how will you know what they are doing or their plans? It's through the media, so it's not bad. It's not the wrong thing to do to announce to the public the plans of the cluster. And talking about the tractors, we are going back to April 2014. That was when the government allocated 1,000 tractors to farmers to improve agriculture production and that season. And it was launched by President Salva Kiir. And he launched the South Sudan Food Security Council that comprises of 15 members from various government institutions. But it is unclear now where are the tractors so far. Again, President Kiir in his New Year address on Tuesday, the 1st of January this year, he said his government will embark on agriculture to enhance food security in the country. And this is why now the economic cluster has resolved to allocate 62 billion South Sudan pounds for this matter. We'll leave it there for now. A few seconds to the top of the hour. Up next, news in English with Lasuba Memo, and I'll be right back in the second hour of the dawn. Good morning.
Looking for the perfect radio partner? iRadio is your answer. Why choose iRadio? Here are the 5 compiling reasons.
Trust and reach. iRadio stands as the most trusted and popular radio station in South Sudan. Backed by recent surveys with a loyal listener base, your message will reach a wide audience effectively.
Extensive network. iRadio is not just a radio station. It's a network of interconnected stations. When you partner with iRadio, we'll broadcast your program across multiple locations such as Wow, Awil, Kwajok, Yambio, Bor, Rang, Malakal, and Baliad, ensuring maximum coverage and impact.
Regional presence. iRadio footprint extends to the states of Western and Northern Bahr el Ghazal, Western and Central Equatoria, Jonglei, Upper Nile, and Warab. By collaborating with iRadio, you can connect with diverse communities and target audiences in these regions.
Community engagement. Partnering with iRadio means engaging with communities at a grassroots levels. Your message will resonate with listeners in various locations, fostering meaningful interactions and driving brand awareness.
Comprehensive coverage with stations in strategic locations like Reng, Malakal, and Baliet. iRadio offers comprehensive coverage that reaches both urban centers and remote areas. Your partnership with iRadio ensures visibility across a wide geographic area.
Don't miss out on the opportunity to amplify your message with iRadio. Partner or advertise with us today and make your voice heard across South Sudan.
Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, good morning. This is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. The South Sudan People's Defense Force has issued a 24-hour ultimatum to heavily armed youth from Greater Pibor administrative area detected to be on an offensive move towards Jonglei State to stop the activity. A prominent U.S.-based South Sudanese academia has raised concern over the recent U.S. decision to revoke visas for South Sudanese nationals, cautioning that more than 2,000 individuals could be affected by the move. And elsewhere, the International Court of Justice is hearing a case brought by Sudan accusing the United Arab Emirates of being complicit in the genocide during the current civil war. This is stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Lasuba Memo, and now the news in detail. The South Sudan People's Defense Force has issued a 24-hour ultimatum to heavily armed youth from Greater Pibor administrative area detected to be on an offensive move towards Jonglei State to stop the activity. In a statement dated April 10th, Army spokesperson Major General Lul Rai Kong said the SSPDF aerial surveillance unit has observed and detected large columns of heavily armed youth from Greater Pibor moving towards Jonglei. According to General Lul, intelligence gathered indicated southern and eastern parts of Jonglei State could be targeted by the armed youth. He said the Army command strongly warns the armed youth to halt their movement and disperse within 24 hours. General Lul said failure to comply, the SSPDF shall deploy all capabilities at its disposal to preempt and avert planned large-scale offensive attacks. A prominent U.S.-based South Sudanese academia has raised concern over the recent U.S. decision to revoke visas for South Sudanese nationals, cautioning that more than 2,000 individuals could be affected by the move. Dr. Jok Madud Jok, a professor at Cyrus University in the United States, link the diplomatic fallout to a specific failure at the South Sudan Embassy in Washington. The embassy, according to Dr. Jok, mistakenly certified a Congolese national as a South Sudanese citizen, which ultimately led to the individual's deportation under false documentation. The incident sparked outrage from U.S. authorities, culminating in U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio's decision to revoke all existing visas held by South Sudanese nationals. The U.S. also suspended the processing of new visa applications and halted the issuance of visas for holders of South Sudanese passports. In an exclusive interview with iRadio, Dr. Jok explained the far-reaching implications of the U.S. decision. Dr. Jok criticized the U.S. government's swift response, arguing that Washington acted without seeking clarification from Juba. He described the U.S. approach as a form of collective punishment affecting the entire South Sudanese community in the U.S. over the action of a single embassy official and an individual involved in immigrant fraud. However, the South Sudanese government took steps to address the situation, including offering to accept the individual identified as Makula Kintu back into the country for prosecution. The South Sudan National Bureau of Standards is urging all importers and traders to strictly adhere to both national and regional standards and cooperate fully with ongoing quality control efforts. The call comes after the Bureau of Standards intercepted and disposed of a truckload of yellow peas and maize grains at the Nimule border entry point due to failed mandatory safety and quality checks. In a statement on Wednesday, the Bureau of Standards explained that the consignment underwent destination inspection and conformity assessment, including laboratory testing based on East African standards. The results confirmed that the grains were physically damaged, contained high levels of impurities and foreign materials, and showed signs of spoilage. A photo shared on the Bureau's official page displayed a truck carrying what appeared to be spoiled flour, further indicating the substandard condition of the cargo. The consignment was officially classified as non-compliant and unfit for human consumption. The Bureau of Standards is urging all importers and traders to cooperate fully with ongoing quality control efforts. In January 2024, the Bureau of Standards seized 17 commercial trucks transporting substandard and illicit goods bound for Juba, originating from Nimule Town and Nasitu checkpoint. In 2023, the Bureau of Standards impounded 1,700 tons of maize products worth $2 million after laboratory tests confirmed the produce contained chemicals scientifically proven to cause cancer. This is iRadio Morning News. And now to the international scene. The International Court of Justice is hearing a case brought by Sudan accusing the United Arab Emirates of being complicit in the genocide during the current civil war. The two-year conflict, which has pitted Sudan's army against the paramilitary rapid support forces, has led to tens of thousands of deaths and forced more than 12 million from their homes. Sudan alleges that the UAE has been arming the RSF to wipe out the non-Arab Masalid population of West Darfur. The UAE has said the case is a cynical publicity stunt and is seeking an immediate dismissal. Since the war began, both the RSF and the Sudanese army have been accused of committing atrocities. And finally, Tanzania's opposition leader Tundu Lissu has been charged with treason a day after he was arrested following a rally held in the south of the country. The charge is connected to his nationwide campaign pushing for electoral reform under the slogan "No Reforms, No Election." The country is due to go to polls in October when Lissu is expected to challenge President Samia Suluhu Hassan. When Samia first came to power in 2021 after the death of her predecessor John Magufuli, she was praised for reversing some of his more authoritarian tendencies, but she has since been criticized after some opposition members have been targeted with arrests and abductions. This is iRadio Morning News, and to end this bulletin, here's a recap of the headlines. The South Sudan People's Defense Force has issued a 24-hour ultimatum to heavily armed youth from Greater Pibor administrative area detected to be an offensive move towards Jonglei State to stop the activity. A prominent US-based South Sudanese academia has raised concern over the recent US decision to revoke visas for South Sudanese nationals, cautioning that more than 2,000 individuals could be affected by the move. And the International Court of Justice is hearing a case brought by Sudan accusing the United Arab Emirates of being complicit in the genocide during the current civil war. That's the end of iRadio Morning News. If there is a story or an event you would like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message at +2 1925 287870. It's also a WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba. Like our Facebook page iRadio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 8 o'clock. I am Masuwa Memo. Thank you for listening.
انتباه، كوليرا ده مرض خطير وممكن بيقتلوا في 3 ل 4 ساعات كان ما عالجوا. ولكن في خبر كويس لتا لقاح تا كوليرا البودي بكاسما وفي عشان بيحميتا وبيحمي أسرتك. لقاح تا كوليرا البودي بكاسما ده وآمن ومجاني، ممكن لأي زول من عمر سنة لفوق، وكمان نسوان الحوامل ومحات الجرادة إيال عشان بيشيلوا لقاح تا كوليرا البودي بكشمة. ومع كده ما بودي لقاح تا كوليرا لناس العيانين أو ناس اللي عندو كوليرا وإيال الأمر طمن تحت سنة واحد. بودي لقاح تا كوليرا ده في كاسمة وبودي 2 جرعة الأول والجرعة الثاني عشان بيقوي مناعتك ضد كوليرا. بودي جرعة نمرة 2 بين أسبوعين ل6 شهور بعد الجرعة الأول. ومع جرعة 1 انت بكون حامي جسم لمدة بوصل ل6 شهور، ومع جرعتين انت بكون حامي نفسك لمدة بوصل ل3 سنة. لقاح تا كوليرا البودي بكاسما دي وبيحميتا من أعراض تا كوليرا الشديد وبيقلل من انتشار تا كوليرا في مجتمع. كلتا ما فوتوا فرصة التطعيم في زمن تحملة تطعيم البودي بكاسما ضد كوليرا البيجا حاصل في منطقتك. كلتا يتذكر إنه حتى بعد تطعيم أو مهم عشان تبستمر في ممارسة النظافة والصرف الصحي الكويس. كلتا عالج دايما موية الشراب عشان بكون آمن، وكلتا استخدم بخانة، وكلتا معكرة في محل المفتوح. كلتا كسل إيدتك بموية النظيف والصابون، وخاصة قبل أكل وبعد كان تدخل في بخانة. وكان ظاهر ليتا أو لأي زول تعرف علامات تا كوليرا كلتا أطلب علاج الفوري. إذا كان إتا أو أي زول من أسرتك أو مجتمعتك عنده علامات أو أعراض تا كوليرا كلتا بلغ توالي لأقرب مرفق صحي أو لعامل صحي أو لشخيلتكم عشان تبلغوا مساعدة طبية. لكثير من معلومات كلتا اتصل بوزارة الصحة في رقم المجاني 66 66. رسالة دي بجالتكم من وزارة الصحة بدعم من منظمة الصحة العالمية يونيسيف والشركاء.
The crucial message that I would want to tell people of South Sudan is that we have tried war in 2013, 2016, but it fails. Let us embrace peace and let us engage in dialogue. And our government and leaders, there is no other alternative but dialogue. Dialogue is the only solution. And I would want to call upon our religious leaders to actually continue putting pressure on leaders of South Sudan, the political class, to make sure that this country does not descend or go back to a full-scale war in South Sudan. Our people cannot afford another war because it will be devastating to our people.
Risala bitai le national government revitalize peace agreement kedema karabu nina ka kanisa na mutaasifin biasma hajat alga hasil fi Upper Nile wa fi mahala tanin so nina bi arju kedaitu rija kutubala asan bi implement revitalize peace agreement asan bijibu salam bijibu wada kwez ben junubin nina tabanin min kalam bita jerjere min kalam bita geni fi displaced wala internal displaced camp nina tabanin minu so arju bilai ainu tab bita motini wa hajade ukuma kede abus hajade nas ikun fi salam.
بتفتش على راديو مثالي؟ آي راديو هو جوابك. ليه تختار آي راديو؟ في 5 الأسباب المغنادل.
الثقة والوصول. بيعتبر آي راديو المحطة الإذاعية الأكثر ثقة وشعبية في جنوب السودان، مدعومة بالاستطلاعات الأخيرة مع قاعدة مستمعين مخلصين. حتصل رسالتك إلى جمهور واسع بشكل فعال.
شبكة واسعة النطاق. آي راديو ليست مجرد محطة إذاعية، إنها شبكة من المحطات المترابطة. لم تكن شريك مع آي راديو. سنقوم ببث برنامجك عبر مواقع متعددة مثل واو، أويل، كواجوك، يامبيو، بور، رنگ، ملكال وباليت، وبيضمن أقصى قدرة من التغطية والتأثير.
التواجد الإقليمي. بتمتد بصمة آي راديو إلى ولاية غرب وشمال بحر الغزال، غرب والاستوائية الوسطى، جونغلي، أعالي النيل وواراب. من خلال التعاون مع آي راديو يمكنك التواصل مع المجتمعات المتنوعة والجماهير المستهدفة في المناطق ديل.
مشاركة المجتمع. الشراكة مع آي راديو بتعني التعامل مع مجتمعات على مستوى الشعبي. رسالتك حتوصل للمستمعين في مواقع مختلف، مما يعزز التفاعلات الهاتفة ويزيد الوعي بعلامة تجارية.
التغطية الشاملة مع محطات في مواقع استراتيجية زي الرنج، ملكال وباليت. بتوفر آي راديو تغطية شاملة بتصل إلى كل من المراكز الحضرية والمناطق الريفية. بتضمن شراكتك مع آي راديو الرؤية عبر منطقة جغرافية واسعة.
ما تفوت فرصة توسيع نطاق رسالتك باستخدام آي راديو. شارك أو أعلن معنا الليلة وخلي صوتك مسموع في جميع أنحاء جنوب السودان.
I Radio, for reliable and objective news from across South Sudan and beyond. You are listening to I Radio, bringing you programs that offer you an in-depth look at the issues that affect you. I Radio, your eye on South Sudan.
The Dawn on I Radio.
Yes, a very good morning to you and welcome to another edition of the Dawn program here on iRadio, a live broadcast from the capital, Juba. I'm your host, Emmanuel Joseph Akile, and it's Friday, the 11th of April, 2025, 17 minutes now after the hour of 7. Now let's move on with our program and we talk about the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement, where Kenyan Foreign and Diaspora Affairs Minister has actually revealed that the government of South Sudan declined to host the IGAD, that's the International Authority on Development, and their ministers who were scheduled to engage in a high-level discussion on the country's current political situation. Well, Musalia Mudavadi disclosed this on Tuesday during the Open Government Partnership Forum in Kenya, where they normally update the foreign diplomats in Kenya about the situation in that country and also in the region. Normally it's named or called quarterly diplomatic update or forum. Now, according to reports, Mudavadi had been assigned to join the IGAD diplomats to engage with Juba over its ongoing political unrest. However, they were informed that the government of South Sudan had decided it was not ready to receive the ministers, and the session was actually postponed to a later date. The government of South Sudan is yet to comment on the matter. Now let's listen to the statement of Mudavadi about the situation in South Sudan, and is calling for regional engagement and participation to try de-escalate the situation in South Sudan.
We have a new challenge in South Sudan. It has been there before, but it's a challenge that we now must also put a spotlight on. The situation remains as you know it. I think one of the vice president has been held in a manner that refrains him from undertaking certain activities. And we, as Kenya, sent a special envoy, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. He was accepted there, but he was not allowed to see Riek Machar, to maybe hear a version from his end. We were destined as ministers of foreign affairs earlier to also go there to have a conversation as IGAD ministers, but the government of South Sudan at the 11th hour sent a message that they were not ready to receive the ministers, so that session was deferred for a later date. Clearly, there was also another delegation sent by the AU, and all the courtesies were accorded, but just like with the Raila situation, that AU delegation, a panel of the wise, was not allowed to see Riek Machar either. So that remains a grey area that may require a lot of diplomatic effort, even from behind the scenes, to have conversations with different interlocutors so that we can mitigate the situation in South Sudan.
نعم، وسمعنا هناك من موساليا مودافدي، وطبعا هو وزير الخارجية وشؤون المغتربين الكيني، وطبعا بيتكلم انه بيقول حكومة جنوب السودان ما وافق عشان يستضيف وزراء الهيئة الحكومية الدولية للتنمية المعروفة بالإيجاد، اللي كان من المقرر انه يشاركوا في مناقشه رفيع المستوى حول الوضع السياسي الحالي في جنوب السودان. ومودافدي كان قال الكلام ده للدبلوماسيين في كينيا يوم الثلاثاء، ووفقا لتقارير كان فقد تم تكليف مودافدي بالانضمام الى دبلوماسيين تانيين من الايجات في وقت سابق عشان هم يتواصلوا مع جوبا بشان الاضطرابات السياسيه المستمره. وده مع ذلك ابلغ حكومه جنوب السودان انه غير مستعدة لاستقبال الوزراء، وتم تأجيل بتاع الجلسة إلى موعد ثاني. ووصف مودافدي الوضع السياسي في جنوب السودان بأنه بيحتاج للإقليم عشان برضو يهتموا بجدية ويقدموا جهود دبلوماسية خلف الكواليس بشكل عاجل من أجل الأوضاع في جنوب السودان. هل أنت متفق مع الخطوة ده إنه جنوب السودان بيحتاج لتدخل إقليمي أو مساعدة أو دعم إقليمي تحسن الأوضاع في البلاد، ولا جنوبين ممكن يقعدوا برام بأنفسهم أو القادة عشان يحلوا المشاكل اللي بتواجه البلاد؟ اتصل علينا وقدم رسالتك. راديو.
لا.
نعم.
من الجزء أكيل سليمان.
سليمان اتفضل.
تعرف يا أخي جنوب السودان طبعا ده الدولة بقى أصلا في عالم كله يعرف إن جنوب السودان ثقافة حقه مشاكل، وإحنا فعلا كجنوبيين يعني بعض المشاكل اللي كانوا واحد من الثقافات بتاعنا وده ما ثقافات بتاعنا لأنه زي إنسان يا سنة مشاكل اللي حصل في السودان دي كله صناعة حقه جاء من الإنسان نفسه. جنوب السودان بيحتاج لتدخل يا أخي، لأنه إحنا قالوا برانا إحنا ما بنقدر نحل المشاكل بتاعنا كويس، ما بنقدر. على سبيل المثال السلام بتاع 2005 بتاع بيس الشامل بين السودان والسودان لما كان حصل في كينيا كان في تدخل من دول كثير، عشان كده كان السلام ده من نفسه، حتى كان في دخل في الدول بتاع حكومات الدول للحكومه السودانيه عشان يعمل تنفيذ السلام ده. نفس حاجه 2013 لما مشينا في مشاكل ما كان في دول ساعتنا، وحتى 16 كمان في دول كانت يعني التدخل بتاع الدول ما بيعني ما بنعرف في مشاكل، لكن دي اخاوه يعني اي على مستوى عالمنا كان في اي مشاكل في الدول الجار بيساعدكم بافكار، بيساعدكم كيف تكون قاعدين في استقرار. نفس حاجه احنا تجربين، احنا ما بره من العالم، احنا في ذات من العالم، واحنا في المجتمع بتاع ايست افريكا، واحنا في افريكا يونيون. كان في اخوان بتاعنا بيجي من كينيا، من السودان، من يوغندا، اثيوبيا، دول يساعدنا كلنا مع بعض. يعني من غير عارف انا ما بقدر بالمناسبه انا ما بقدر، لان السياسيين الموجودين في جنوب السودان يا اكيد اكثرهم عباره عن بيرس، اكثرهم عباره دارين سلطه، دارين مناصب بس، لكن روح وطنيه كده بتدونا ما. عشان كده عالم بقى قرى واحد زي قريه واحد. بعدين في شعار بتاع ايست افريكا بقول او بتاع افريقيا بقول كان في اي مشكله في افريقيا كلمنا ناس افريقيا يا سنه، كلمنا ناس افريقيا يا عالجوا، كلمنا يا اتفقوا. ما لو احنا جزء بتاع افريقيا احنا محتاجين لمساعده من برا، يعني احنا ما بنقدر نعمل المشاكل بتاعنا احنا برا. شكرا.
اورايت سليمان، شكرا. نحل مشاكلنا برانا. راديو. اتصل علينا تاني على ارقام بتاعنا جالي 25 دقيقة بعد الساعة 7 في استوديو هذا راديو. صباح الخير. هلا راديو.
اهلا وسهلا. الخبير
ابو لولو.
أكيلك عزيزي وتهل التيم العمل وكل المستمعين.
ودرت وين يا زول؟
أنا بقدر فرصة للمستمع جيد، ندي فرصة للآخرين.
نعم كويس، تفضل.
تسلم كثير عزيزي. بجد أنا ما بعرف الدول اللي بيقولوا دارجة عشان يساعدوا مشاكل بتاعت جنوب السودان إلا كانوا من جزء من المشاكل اللي قاعدين من نفسه ده، لكن إذا كانوا لو ما جزء أكيد أنينا شعب البلد أهل الوطن أنينا أدرى بكل مشاكل بتاعنا. هنبقى نقول فاتان نخط النقاط للحروب زي ما كان بلاد من زمان كان قاعد يناضل عشان يحرر البلد لغايه ما جينا وحررنا البلد. اكيد هنا عارفين ان نعمل شنو ونسوي شنو من اجل شنو. عشان كده لابد ان يكون في صوت العقل، يكون في روح بتاع الوطن وروح بتاع المسؤوليه وروح بتاع التاريخ لا يرحم، لانه التاريخ جنب مال بعيد. المفروض نرجع نقول تيد اننا كابناء الوطن حكومه وشعبا نخوض النقاط الحروب نشوف مشاكلنا شو نقدر نحله. اما الدول تانيين دول كان دايما يساعدونا باشياء ثانيه براده دي شيء ثاني. شيء ثاني برا، لكن المشاكل بتاعنا اننا ندرى بكله مع المشاكل بيناتنا عشان نجي نتيجه فوضى الصوت العقل كما قلت بالروح بتاع الوطن علينا نقدر نشوف مصلحه بتاع البلد بتاعنا للقدام. شكرا جزيلا.
اورايت شكرا. نحل مشاكلنا برانا على راديو. Hinak is saying we should resolve our problems or differences by ourselves without external intervention. Also, a message here coming in from Mayen Nilang is saying, "Good morning, Radio and all the listeners. This is Michael Mayen Peter from Wow. I would like to commend the government of South Sudan for its bold decision to reject IGAD's approach. Since IGAD involvement in our country, we have no progress in achieving true peace and unity." And it's also adding that let's be honest with ourselves, no foreign body will bring lasting peace to South Sudan. It is up to us, the sons and daughters of this nation, to take responsibility. We must correct those who are doing wrong and support those who are doing right. Only then we can actually move forward. Peace and unity will come from within win through truth, justice, and collective effort. And thank you. Our radio.
Akile, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
This is statement my brother is too happy. Because when you talk about South Sudanese to solve their internal problem alone, you could not see which way they are going to solve their problem alone. Whether the national level, the problem began in the government. How come that that's also they need to come and solve it? Civil society are not able to solve it. The church and faith-based group, they are not able to solve that group. So the statement from the foreign minister Mudavi in Kenya, it is true. It is African Union and IGAD and international community to contribute for helping South Sudanese to understand themselves. That's why these days we are used to call for them to come here to solve the problem within the country. Because South Sudanese, they don't understand themselves. That's why they clash every time. And they involve region even the IGAD countries, they involve. There is some supporting South Sudanese rebel, there is some supporting South Sudanese government. And all these things, they are not helping us as a citizen of South Sudan. What we want, let them make a big delegation to engage, giving these people pressure to understand themselves. What we want from South Sudan, from day one, it is a dialogue. Because what happened to us as South Sudanese from day one of the war, 1983, we start to kill ourselves in the way that we're going for the revolution. From here to Itang or Binpam, how many people being killed by South Sudanese themselves because of confusion? They don't know how to do. Now we have that hatred in our heart. We are still sitting as a tribe. We are still sitting as a group. We are still sitting as a party. But all these things has to be solved in that way. Now we don't have a national council of elders. It's not there. I think one of us asking about those who were leaders during the 70th or 80th or 60th. They are here, but they are being recruiting for the council of elders of their tribe. So if we have a council of elders, they are supposed to sit down with the faith-based group, church leaders, and civil society to make a solution. And also that one is happened to South Sudan. Boys of elders, those were heading by Justice Abelalier in 2020. They proposed to this leadership a national dialogue report that this current leadership is supposed to sit down and giving power to the South Sudanese people. If they are not considered, let them implement this period of agreement and let them abstain themselves from the politics. It started from the president itself with their vice president, and that one is not implemented by the leadership. How you come to say that South Sudanese they are able to solve their internal problem when the current leadership shut down the voice of their people, voice of the people from the grassroots, and voice of the elders. You know, that report was did by Angela Beda as the elders, did by Abelalier as the elders. Laws of Lagos, all these things are turned down, and that one was not their built alone, was brought from the people of South Sudan in the countryside. Making country a petrol government was proposed by the people, and that one now is not a start to be doing. What we are seeing in our head now, it is to fight, to divide us. We don't want to be divided again. We want African Union and the IGAD to support peace for these people, not to be located in Kenya or Uganda or Addis Ababa for peace talk again. No. Let them be inside here, and facilitation for the real peace has to be done here. Real peace, this one was not a really, because everything is polite. If you go to another county, another state, where are you come from? All these things are not supposed to be asking ourselves as Sudanese. We are liberators. We liberate this country for our blood. We lost many people. We are not supposed to be seen as simple people because the guerrilla we formed in this country for 21 years has not formed in Africa. So it is a mindset of some people who trying to be in power and some people trying to take power on their tribal means. All these things they are not to give us freedom in the country. Let us follow the clean freedom, not this dirty freedom being played by people trying to put the tribal mind on the progress. Let us put a country in bigger that nation is our nation. Let's say one nation and one people. That statement is very important to us as South Sudanese. But it's not there because of the enemies of peace, because of enemies of nationalism are in power to try to put their tribe ahead more than their parties ahead more than the country. Thank you.
Right, thank you. ده رأي بيجي من جوزيف في مونيكي. سبت الحكيم برضو صابر الحكيم كتب اللي بقد بنشوف الحقيقة للسلام العاملين به إزعاج له كم سنة لحد الآن أبقوا ناس صريحين أن إحنا جنوبيين ما متفقين ولا بنتفق لأنه كل زول عايز يكسب مال ومنصب ولا يرعى الشعب. سبيت باب قال استخدام أسلوب دبلوماسي للحلول هي أمثال واستماع على صوت العقل ونصائح هي أفضل طريقة للسلام. علينا أن نستجيب لآراء جيران وأصدقاء البلاد، ربما يكون أن يجلبوا السلام والاستقرار ونعيش بين أبناء الوطن الواحد. راديو.
الو.
يس.
إيمانويل جيسف أكيله.
نعم أستاذ مجوك، تفضل.
أستاذ مجوك يعني. إيمانويل جيسف أكيله طبعا جنوب السودان جزء لا يتجزأ من أفريقيا يونيون والاتحاد الأفريقي. ويعني أنا شايف إذا نحن كاتحاد المنظومة ونحن في كرايسيس، فأنا شايف إنه الدبلوماسية طبعا في الكلام أفضل. لأنه حتى رأي بقول يعني الجنوبيين المفروض يحل مشاكلهم براهم. أنا ما فشلنا في حل مشاكلنا برانا، لأنه هسه عندنا كم سنة الجنوبيين براهم هسه يعني الشركاء الاتفاقية ما قادرين يمشي خطوة، بس نجحوا بس في تشكيل حكومة، بس توزيع الوزارات انتهت. كويس؟ معناه حتى بعض من البنود الاتفاقية ما اتنفذت. الجنوبيين براهم. كويس؟ ده لا فوق دولية، لا فوق الاتحاد الافريقي، لا فوق منو دخل جو برانا. كويس؟ الجنوبيين فشل. انت لما تفشل وانت دخلت في كرايسيس ما انت محتاج لاطراف. كويس؟ مش اطراف اللي بيزيد النار، مش اطراف اللي بكب بنزين في النار. اطراف بقدر يعمل تهدئه، اطراف بقدر برجع تنفرش المشي كثير لفوق، بقدر نزول تحت. يا اخوانا كيت على الروق شويه. كويس؟ اننا ما من مصلحتنا نرفض مبادرات بتاع الاتحاد الافريقي ولا اي حاجه ثانيه، لانه في النهايه بده سبل مثل جنوب السودان هم دايرين شنو يعني. مثلا اذا موضوع اكل قروش ما اكلوا من زمان، لانه التكوينات بتاع الجيش او اولاد الجيش كثير ده ما عندهم اي دور. كويس؟ شنو يبعدوا كده كل كلام ساكت وقروش ماشي. ما دام قروش اكلوا من زمان طيب، ما اذا جاب المبادره بتاع كلام خليه يتكلموا، ما نرفض. كويس؟ يفترض جنوب السودان يكون واسع لاي منظومه يعني عموميه دايرين جنوب السودان يكون فوق سلام. كويس؟ فاول حاجه لا يعني الجنوبيين برانا ثبت للعالم اننا فشلنا، ما بنقدر ندير حوارات مع بعض، لا بنقدر نقبل بعض، ما نشتغل في بعض، كل ذي بخطط في الثاني. يعني حتى الستيك هولدرز اللي بنتكلم فوق ده. كويس؟ يوم ده ما كان في مبادرات ناس عمنا عبد المير وناس انجلبيرا ما كان يدخل في مبادرات بتاع حوار وطني. وين؟ جماعة الموضوع بتاع ريكونسيليشن ده، لانه نسيل الاجتماع بتاع جنوب السودان مع خرب. كويس؟ خرب وده شغل يفترض حتى البند بتاع هيلين ريكونسيليشن اللي في الاتفاقيه يفترض يلعب دور اساسي في الزمن ده كله عشان يقدر يرجع النفوذ الجنوبيه، يرجع سلام بين المجتمعات. لكن فشلوا.
عشان كده طيب انت لما تكون فاشل معناته انت محتاج لاطراف يساعدوك كويس يرجعوك للوعي. الجنوبيين عاملين كلام قصدا ما يعني الكلام ده كله عاملين انتشنال يعني حاجه المقصود انه جنوب السودان خليه يكون كده الجنوبيين برام كويس.
نعم
ما دام انت فتحت بيتك لناير معناها الاجانب بيخشوا الناس اللي ما عندهم في ناير ما عندهم سلام بيجي بيخربوا زياره زي يوغندا. هاي شكرا جزيلا.
alright شكرا وهو بيتفق مع انه لازم يكون في وساطة إقليمية وحتى دولية من أجل تحسين الأوضاع في البلاد. Gadbel Jog wrote on our Facebook, good morning iRadio, I'm watching live in Europe. I support the foreign policy intervention because the people who are in power are not interested to bring peace in our home. How many years now the country has been in war or conflict and people are still suffering? We need peace in South Sudan. Mangara Soni said, good morning, my dear South Sudanese. Let's put aside conflict and embrace peace. iRadio.
Hello, مساء الخير.
صباح النور.
كيف انت؟
أنا منو؟
ما لازم طيب الواو.
نعم تفضل لازر أنا كويس.
أجاد ناس بتاعنا قاعد يقول كله ده أجاد يعني ما نزلنا بعدنا.
نعم واصل. الو لازروس. alright معلش فقدناك في الخط. iRadio.
Yes, hello, Emmanuel.
Yes.
How are you?
Yes, your name, where are you calling from?
I'm Mike, I'm calling from Bourtown.
Your name?
I'm Mike, I'm calling from Bourtown.
Mike from Bourtown, go ahead.
You know, Emmanuel, there is something I want to tell you. The problem we have here in South Sudan, everybody wants to be a politician. Not everybody is supposed to be a politician. This is why we are failing. You know, even these people are claiming the foreign leaders are coming here to try to interfere into our politics. No, they are trying to see that we are not fighting every day. Every day we are fighting. Every year, every month. We are fighting ourselves. We fought for 21 years to come to power. When we came to power, we were coming to enjoy a country. Now, when we came, we are fighting ourselves. What is the reason of that them going for liberation in the bush? So, everybody now, even if you go to the university, John Garang University, to go where, to Juba University, everybody wants to be a politician. What politician are you? People should go and cultivate. First of all, cultivate when you want to be a politician. Are you getting me?
Yes.
You first of all need to work. When you work, and then from there, you get money. Get money, marry your wife, build houses. From there you work politics, because from there you are going to serve the people. But don't go to politics when you're poor because you want to build also Amara like other people. You wanted to also buy Z8 like other people because you have been not having money. This is the problem which is causing us to fight here and there every day. But if we refuse that idea of joining politics when you are just without having nothing, it can be having very many resources. I expect that to be one of the best in the future, but we are just fighting because everybody wants this politician. Not all people are politicians. We were not all to be politicians. They are doctors, they are engineers, they are teachers. But here in South Sudan, even you find a child which is in PA, he's talking about to being a politician. What politician? Please let us dial up. Thank you.
Alright, thank you. بقدم رسالة بتاعه برضو. Someone said South Sudan is not yet qualified to solve its problems alone. And he's saying the population is undergoing international aid assistance. Even the government itself is surviving through external loans. Thanks. That's Deng Mach. iRadio. Yes, good morning. Yes, welcome, David.
My brother, when we talk about the program of the agreement or peace, we South Sudanese,
we deserve to solve our problem. Why? We were fighting for 21 years, looking for the freedom, for the independence, and so forth. Now, if all of us all the time created the problem in our country and we go for the outside to come and help us, why do we fight for the country? I don't know if you know what it is. I shall not tell you this right now, but I know the other. Okay, no question. I'm going to be moving myself. And I need a man to another thing. You have to know what another man is going to do. Now, there is a man who is going to be my child. And I is also the other. You know, we listen to the Junubu Sudan. That's not the area. My area is listen to the dollar. Al Haja Nina Khan Bamulu, Anina Shabit Junubu Sudan. Low shouldn't say a thing with Junubu Sudan, the Masha Kale, Barnami, Salam, Aule Junubi, Kanina Junubin in a hard Nobula Sayana Jama, if I kid my house, Ultima, why are you trying to break it? Because I'm not actually a gift that I don't know, to Burga Junubi. Anina Alhamdulillah, Junubi, I don't know. into dollar into county into hela nas kubar في ولاية ولا في region اللي ما كده ما بقدر أتكلم مع زول عشان نحل مشاكل بتاع دولة. To be requested as South Sudanese, we ask first of all our politicians, why are you really fighting? Why do you kill people? What is your problem? Is it because of leadership? Because nobody is always killing people because of position. All of us are South Sudanese, and we 64 tribes were created by God in this country. Like it or not, we must have to remain in this. If outsiders, grantors will come in South Sudan and solve our problems, we will still go back to the country and will remain here. For how long are we going to be supported?
All right.
All the time. Why are we not supposed to know our rights? Why are we not knowing that one the reason why we are in this country? Because we were supported when a problem happened in 2013. There was what is so-called compromise peace agreement. And then when it happened in 2016, there is 2018 what is so-called revitalized peace agreement. And then there is roadmap. And all these agreements, all of them now are not known where they are. But the reason is that we did not accept ourselves. We did not accept this country as our country. We did not even know the reason why we were fighting for 21 years. If we know, we would have even solved the problem. Only with 1 month we can settle the country. But the problem is, we don't know the reason exactly why are we in this country, why did we look for leadership, and why are we really want to be leaders of this country. If you know the South Sudan we want, we can solve the problem. But we don't know the reason why we were looking for the country. That's why there is lack. And the problem of South Sudan now become an international business, of which the whole world needs even to make a project in South Sudan, fueling the problem that South Sudan is capable of ruling their country. They don't have leaders, they are corrupt, and whatever. And who allowed this? It's only South Sudanese. Why don't we come out and tell our politicians to correct themselves? Instead of standing behind them and we make divide the rule. Thank you.
All right, thank you. ده رسالة بيجي برضو من ديفيد ماجوك هناك انه نقعد مع نفسنا برانا كجنوبيين سودانيين وخاصة القادة ونحل المشاكل بتاعنا. ده بيجيبنا لنهاية الفقرة. ده نمشي لفاصل اعلاني ومنه حنجي نسمع في موضوع بتاع منظمة مجتمع مدني بنادي من اجل المحاسبة وكمان برضو العدالة ده للناس اللي هم بيعملوا انتحاك لاتفاقية السلام المنشط.
Peace is precious than any political or military victory. Peace is what is sustainable and what is peace is precious than any political or military victory. Peace is precious. And so all of us in this Republic of South Sudan are encouraged to pursue what is precious, what is sustainable, and what is enhancing. I always say peace is development and development is peace. All of us together as a people of this Republic do everything in our own limits, in our own capacities to promote peace and to seek peace and to work for peace. And so I ask really, what precious gift that can be given to the Republic of South Sudan, to this suffering nation, to this starving nation? What precious gift can we give? We give the gift of Jesus Christ, who is the Prince of Peace, and that is the peace we seek. May all of us work for that peace, and may God bless you all, and may peace prevail in the Republic of South Sudan.
We want peace in South Sudan, but this peace have become a dream to many of us. When we close our eyes and open them, it is gone, and uncertainty replaces it. But let us not give up. Let us work collectively towards the peace we desire at our different capacities. Let us all denounce violence of any kind at all levels, but encourage dialogue to conflicts and differences. We are all South Sudanese and will remain South Sudanese whether we like it or not. The earlier we accept ourselves, the better for the future of our nation.
Right, very good morning to you once again. It's now 12 minutes to the top of the hour. You're still listening to the Dawn program on iRadio. Now, an advocacy group, or known as the Advocacy or CPA, that's Center for Peace and Advocacy, is calling for accountability for those who violate the 2018 Revitalize Peace Agreement. The CPA has also expressed concern about the ongoing violations of the peace deal by those individuals with intention to keep the country in the dark. Let's listen to this statement released by Termanyang, who is the executive director of CPA.
An advocacy body call for accountability for those who violate the access to prevent the further violation. The Center for Peace and Advocacy is deeply concerned about ongoing violation of the access by those individuals with the intention to keep a country at dark. Seeing the conflict erupted on 4th March 2025 in Nasser County, Upper State, the situation has significantly deteriorated due to the clashes between SSPDF and the White Army. The situation has worsened with Dr. Machar under house arrest, despite the effort by the IGAD, represented by Honorable Rial Odinga, Special Envoy to South Sudan, and additionally, the coming of the panel of wise was unsuccessful. Individuals who are intentionally undermine the peace and security in South Sudan must be held accountable by the international community and the regional body, such as IGAD and the African Union. Now the focus should be on implementing that access which has a potential to lead the country from war to peace. The ongoing violence is worsened by the politicians who demonstrate lack of political will to resolve the crisis. Accountability should start with those who create the false sense of the success, further complicating the security issues such as the hours arrest of Dr. Machar, bombardment of the civilian population, and the detention of the political leaders. Those issues contribute to the collapse of security, jeopardizing the existing peace agreement implementation. Those interconnected issues are not addressed, so Sudan is risk descending into the further violation and civil war won by Center for Peace and Advocacy. CPA concludes that the international law should be upheld by those who oppose the implementation of RSS, and this call lead to the country to the wealthier future in like other countries in the world and East Africa. The current generation in South Sudan are aging without having achieved anything significantly due to ongoing wars in the country.
ده كان تيرمانيانغ بيقدم بيان بتاعه هناك، هو المدير التنفيذي لمنظمه بتاع سي بي اي. نرفع المكالمات بكل اختصار. هل انت متفق مع الخطوه ده؟ هو بينادي من اجل المساءله والعدل. الناس اللي هم بيعملوا انتحاك او انتحاكات لاتفاقيه السلام المنشط, talking about accountability and justice. And remember, the 2018 Revitalize Peace Agreement stipulates that there shall be a hybrid code in South Sudan with the aim of holding war criminals accountable in the conflict, which has killed nearly 400,000 people and forced 4 million South Sudanese to flee their homes. It also authorizes the African Union, in collaboration with the government of South Sudan, to set up a special court to investigate and prosecute individuals suspected of committing crimes from December 2013. Radio. Hello Radio. رجع تاني واتصل علينا وقدم تعليق بتاعك على 11 أو 22 986 986. راديو.
لا.
يس.
صباح الخير.
نعم، أنا منو؟
أبين من جوبا.
تفضل طوالي.
يا أخي الناس ده عنده برنامج بيتم عاوز يلخبط البلد ده عشان كيف بيعملوا اكستنشن وهم بيستمر في كوربشن بيتم عشان يستمر في الحكم. ده هدف بيتم بس. ده هدف بيتم، ما عنده هدف ثاني، ولا بتاع سلام البلد ولا بتاع سلام ولا بتاع شنو. فلو كان في طريقه ينزلوا من كل من فوق لغايه تحت عشان يكونوا ناس جداد اللي عنده اهتمام مع مصالح بتاع الناس. شكرا.
alright، شكرا. راديو. نعم، هو بنادي من أجل يكون في أقرب وقت عشان الناس يمشوا، أو يعني المسؤولين ما يكونوا طمعانين بس في السلطة. راديو.
Emmanuel, morning.
Yes, David, welcome.
Emmanuel, when this agreement was started with the accountability, people were then waiting for election. Why? Because the agreement first of all said that before the formation of the government national unity, there must be a special unit for BIP. Unfortunately, the government was formed without that unit. That was the first violation. When we come to the second violation, they said the chapter 2, that is security arrangement, must be completed before the agreement is finalized. It happened that it became very hard for the all stakeholders to implement the agreement. That chapter 2 became very hard. And this is where the problem starts. If you come to number 3, there was what is called peace and reconciliation, of which all leaders will just move around the country to preach peace, moving from state to state or region to region, to tell the people that the problem is finished, we are now in peace, prepare yourself for election. Unfortunately, they have failed. If this one was having an accountability, this one is supposed to be the first violation of which the accountability should have to take place. When we come to the implementation of the agreement, the leaders would have been asked, why is it very simple for you to make a sanction within 2 weeks and become very hard for you to implement the agreement for almost 6 years? Why? The reason is that they have logic of remaining in position and they don't want to bring back the power to the citizen. So these are the things that we, the citizen, would have been making accountability to the leaders. But unfortunately, we divide ourselves to stand behind them, to support them or what they are doing. And if we ask those who are supporting them, what did you get? There are no schools now, no health, no clean drinking water, no roads. And these are the services that are supposed to be given to us as a citizen of this nation. So if they are really assuming the position, consuming our resources, their children are studying, and our children are not studying, and we are getting nothing from them, why do we support them? We are supposed to make accountability, telling them that what you are doing is wrong. We need you to do this. And the only solution is to implement the agreement fully, and we go for election. This is the only accountability that we can do as a citizen of this nation. Because somebody without gun in South Sudan now doesn't have right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. ده رسالة منه إنه نمشي لإلكشنز أو انتخابات. راديو. نعم، نرفع مكالمة تاني. هلو راديو.
إيمانويل جيسيف أكيلة.
نعم.
معك جون بلانتينو من جبل لادو.
جون اتفضل.
هو إيمانويل جيسيف أكيلة. طبعا نحن كشعب الجنوبي بيجينا تعبانين شديد من الحكومة بتاعنا الموجودة. أنا بدي رسالة للحكومة، يعني كده تم الشعب بقى تعبان. المشكلة بتاعنا نحن بنقول السلام سلام. السلام طبعا ما عندنا جواه، لأنه نحن 95% نحن ناس قبليين، لأنه ما ندرين حقيقة.
ميزانينا ما ناس قبلين لابد خلينا بنهب الشعب بتاعنا. لكن احنا بندي رساله للحكومه لازم ينظم نفسه عشان كيف يقدر يوعي الشعب ويقدر ينظم الدوله ذاته.
نعم.
سو طبعا مشاكلنا حسن يعني في السلام اول فاول وفى اطلاق النار ده بيكون مهم شديد. وفى اطلاق النار يعني ده بخلي الشعب بتاعنا ما بيكونش في دول الجوار، ما بيكونش في دول الجوار عشان يطلع من الدوله
نعم
للدوله الاخرى. لازم هنا نهب للشعب بتاعنا عشان كيف نشوف المصارف بتوعهم الخاص زي المدارس زي المستشفيات زي شنو ده المهم بتاعنا. الحكومه المفروض حكومه يعمل حاجات زي ده، لكن الحكومه تنظم للكراسي للوزارات. ده المشكله اللي في عندنا.
alright شكرا لك للمشاركه بتاعك. And thank you all for your contributions. We'll leave it there for today. We've come to the end of the Dawn edition for this week. Join us again on Monday at the same time to get the latest on what's happening in South Sudan and also beyond the borders. Up next, news in Arabic. On behalf of the Dawn team, Paulina Athier, Awan Moses, and the producer Baria Johnson, and may the good Lord continue to rest the soul of our colleague Charles Water in peace. Baria Johnson is the producer. We'll leave it there for this week. Up next, news in Arabic. Now, my name is Emmanuel Joseph Akile. Do have a blessed weekend. Stay safe, and we meet again on Monday.